being the exclusive home for all the WPIHL playoffs and championships for nearly 2 decades. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the MSA Sports Network.
Coverage of the 2016 PIHL High School Hockey Playoffs here on the Science Associates Sports Network. The Penguins Cup Playoffs at MSA Sports are sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlo University, by J&J Distributing, by Lebanon Ice Arena, by First Commonwealth Bank, by Progress, by Chatham University, by the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League, and by Management Science Associates.
It's continuing coverage of the 2017 PIHL Penguins Cup Playoffs on the MSA Sports Network. Tonight from the Alpha Ice Complex in Harmarville, the 1-8 matchup in Class AAA as the top seed, the Central Catholic Vikings, at a 16-4 record, take on the Butler Golden Tornado, who come in 7-10-3 on this 2016-2017 campaign. Very pleasant good evening to you, along with Cory Campano. I'm Josh Rowntree here at Alpha, and tonight, Cory, I think a pretty solid matchup. You talk about 1-8, you think, all right, well, the 1 seed is a pretty overwhelming favorite probably, but that's not really the case in AAA hockey. It is so deep, top to bottom, and we have seen teams at the top lose to teams at the bottom, even worse than the 8 seed, in fact. And these two teams are no exception. They split in the regular season, and now a chance here tonight for Central Catholic to maybe move on, but they're going to get a pretty stiff test from this Golden Tornado squad.
I think the most important thing you said there was they split in the regular season. Butler's an 8 seed, sure, but they're coming into this very familiar opponent on the other side in Central Catholic, knowing what they bring to the table and having already beaten them once during the regular season. That's a little bit of a confidence boost. And just to go what you said about how deep this 3A squad is, or 3A squads are, I should say. Butler is the 8 seed. They were 7-10-3, but kind of played an up-and-down season all year. And Central Catholic, being the number 1, just had a terrific overall season at 16-4-0. But, I mean, you look at the teams even in between. I think we saw earlier NA was losing as the 2 seed to Bethel Park.
Now tied.
The discrepancy between the 1 to 8 teams, record-wise, isn't just what you want to look at when you look top to bottom. They're very, very close.
Absolutely, and this Central Catholic team, coached by Bill Connolly, they had a really nice winning streak. They were poised maybe to go with 11 wins in a row into the playoffs, second to last game of the year, losing 5-4 to Canon-Mac, then bouncing back with a nice 2-1 win over Cathedral Prep. And when you talk about Central Catholic, there's a lot of skill for them on the ice, but in my opinion, their best player is the guy between the pipes, and that's their goaltender, Nate Cava.
Nate Cava just, you want to talk about numbers as far as they go for a high school goaltender, 15-3-0. He has a shutout, 2.86 goals against. That's pretty good considering you made 563 saves on the season, too. .918 save percentage, and leader in the entire AAA in wins. Obviously, when Central Catholic comes in with 16, and Nate Cava has 15 of them, that just displays the type of confidence that they have in their keeper and the type of confidence he's built all season. He's really terrific and should be a treat to watch here tonight.
On the other side, this Butler squad, Nick Farmery is their starting goaltender. Pretty decent numbers, at 370 goals against, 7-8-3 record on the year, 859 in the save percentage. One guy that really stands out, though, is a guy that has not played for them a ton this year. Maybe the best player, one of the most skilled players in AAA. He just hasn't seen, as I mentioned, a ton of ice time for this Butler team, and that's their speedy forward, Trevor Gilliland.
Yeah, Trevor Gilliland, look at the numbers, too, with him. 17 points in just 11 games, 9 goals, 8 assists. He's an enforcer as well. He can really lay the body into you, 24 penalties. But the type of player that Gilliland is the type that he steps on the ice and you immediately notice the difference in the way that the team plays around him. He brings a spark to the team feeds off of that, and they get him the night after only playing 11 games in the regular season.
They are making an announcement right now that they do not have an EMT here for the game, and I think I see one walking in right now, but if that were the case, I don't believe they could start this game until an EMT gets here. But I see somebody that's wearing what looks to be EMT clothing walking towards the rink, slightly tardy, but they are nevertheless here, and I think we are ready to play hockey as the EMT, who is chatting away on her cell phone, is making her way slowly but surely to the penalty box as we'll get set to start. This matchup between number 1 Central Catholic and number 8 Butler. Butler coached by Cory Sokolski in his first year. They scored 70 goals on the year, led up 77. Central Catholic, the top scoring team in AAA at 98. And they let up 65 on this season. A couple of good players up front for Central. Ryan Kongursky and Jake Teep lead the way, but Ryan Hegg as well. This is a Central team. They're pretty deep up front. They're pretty skilled. They have a lot of good forwards.
They really do. And you mentioned Kongursky and Teep at the top, but I mean, you look top to bottom, really balanced team. They're for top 3 scorers at over 30 points in Kongursky, Teep, and Haig, and then that next middle tier, Farber, Martin, Caparelli, all chipping in with a good number of points too in the teens. Team that's spread out, and you see a lot of high school hockey teams that have that one dominant line, not a ton after that. Central Catholic, pretty good depth.
Just about set to drop the puck. Central Catholic, if you're watching on the MSA Sports video feed or if you're listening at home, Central Catholic in the white home uniforms with the blue pants and the gold trim. Butler with the dark blue with the light gold trim as we are underway. Gavin Morrison taking the draw against Ryan Kongursky. It's knocked back down into the Central Catholic zone. They work forward in the corner. Teams battle, and they finally throw one towards the net, does Butler, and it's going to be sticked aside. Skating forward over in the corner is Ryan Hegg, and will dump it all the way down the ice, and it will go for an icing touch-up, bringing the puck back the other way.
Actually like the look there on the dump. If that pass just a little softer, Kongursky, guy that can really score, drifting right down the middle. Opportunity there for Central Catholic early, but goes for an icing, and Vikings will set up in their own zone.
All right, face-off coming to the left circle to the right of Nate Cava. Again, Cava in net 15-3 overall on the year, the top mark in wins in AAA, 2.86 goals against, .918 save percentage for him this season. Puck is funneled out towards center ice. Dushek going back for it. Tate Dushek will dump it far corner. Man fell down for Butler. Central Catholic able to get to the puck. Big collision as Jake Teep gets knocked down by Gilliland. A backhander towards the cage, goes behind the net, tracks all the way to the near side. Collision in the near side corner. Central Catholic student section getting a rise out of that one. Good number of folks still filing in. Nice crowd on hand for this first round playoff game. Puck is cycled around to the near side. Picking it up is Teep. Teep throws it across the ice, and it'll be collected by Butler on the far side. Garrett Banner, the first man to it. As Gilliland tries to stick it ahead, he lost control, but collects then again at the red line. And he'll back it up and reset in his own zone. Some pressure applied by Caparelli. Spin move by Gilliland through the left circle. He collects and gets it off to Banner. Banner then stood up in front of the net. Boy, a nice hit on him. And then a big collision by Gilliland. And Gilliland laying a man out right in front of the Central bench.
Should be interference, right? It should be a pretty easy call, I would think, for the official.
They are not calling it. Looked like the puck was not even being played by the Central player that got hit, and Gilliland, who we've seen lay into a couple of guys so far. He throws the weight around. Playoff hockey early on, 15-24 to go here in this first period. Still scoreless between Central and Butler. This one backed out near the blue line, but kept alive. Banner fighting for it in the corner. Now it's brought back out near the left point, but unable to handle it. And losing it is Adam Holt. And then Sam Gross will knock it back in. On the far side of the rink with it is Mac Martin. Martin will softly play it ahead where it's taken by Butler. They outlet it ahead. With some speed, it's Miller. Miller walking in, let go of a shot. Pretty well wide, though, for Ronan Miller. And he lays a check on the far side. Jake Teep trying to get away with it. Now Ethan Farber skating hard after it for Central Catholic, but it comes back to Ronan Miller. Miller trying to dangle with it. Goes into the left circle, but loses control. Good pressure applied there by Dane Martin. Now here comes Teep. Teep going 2-on-3. And he'll have it roll off his plate, and then it goes into the corner on the far side. Chip back to the near side and intercepted. Shot towards the net, and a good one for Ryan Hegg. Just went high. On the neutral zone, they battle for it. And Rogers will take over. Ben Rogers losing control, but right coming back with it is Jake Teep. Teep gets stood up as he entered the circle by number 3, Tate Dushik.
Good hit from Dushik. Dushik, 60 penalty minutes on the year, leads the Butler Golden Tornado.
And he fell down as he chased down the puck, and that nearly led to a turnover. Helping him out, though, was his teammate Josh McGowan. This one was banked up the far side boards. It'll go back down for an icing call as Kava watches it go behind his cage.
Josh, I think it's interesting. I mean, if you didn't know the bracket, didn't know the standings, if you didn't know what was on paper, you'd never think this was a 1-8 matchup, especially the way that this started out. Even pace back and forth, and each team's sustained a little bit of pressure in the other team's zone.
One update to get to you from this AAA bracket, one of the earlier games. North Allegheny, Bethel Park going to overtime, tied at 2. So another overtime game at Barrow. I was there on Monday night for an OT contest. We had a triple overtime game last night as Thomas Jefferson and South Fayette played 3 extra periods before TJ won it, 5-4. There was also an overtime game between Westmont Hilltop 2 days ago and Chartiers Valley. Puck up the near side, getting to it for Central is Ryan Kingerski. Look out for Kingerski. He has been terrific against Butler this year. In their last game, the win for Central, 2 goals, 2 assists. And the game before that had a pair of goals as well. So 4 goals and 2 assists in 2 games against the Golden Tornado this year. With it is Gross up the left wing, walking it in, let go of a shot, hit a stick. Kava trying to cover it up, got a skate to the glove, but was able to hold on for a stoppage of play.
Easily. Go ahead.
Sorry, Cory. I think right now, kind of what we expected. Tight checking, not a lot of great opportunities for either team.
Yeah, a lot of neutral zone play. Just wanted to point out there, too, you mentioned the earlier in the broadcast here, Josh, the great play of Nate Kava all season. Even that, trickling puck, just so calm. Stay in front of it, get down on it, no rebound. He's about as solid as they come.
Oh, off the draw, rebound attempt right in front of the net for Jerome Oliver. Oliver did not play in the last game against Central Catholic, the 5-2 loss. Of course, there was the Butler 6-5 win. Rare that you get 6 goals behind Nate Kava, as this shot from the high slot by Skylar George is steered aside with a skate. Comes back out to George, who gloves it down. Skylar George, a goal and 2 assists on the year. Now picking it up is Adam Holt. Holt played it into the attacking zone. It's stolen away. 12 minutes to play here in the first period between Butler and Central Catholic at the Alpha Ice Complex. This facility, the home to a number of teams, including an NCAA D3 team in the Chatham Cougars. But Duquesne and Pitt both play club hockey here as well. Congratulations to the Pitt Panthers Club 1 team making it to the national tournament. A lot of former PIHL players on that team. Here comes Martin back the other way. Good fire by Chris Martin, looking for his 2nd goal of the year, but that one went high over the shoulder of Kava. Now it comes to the near side half boards where a scrum of players go after it for either side. Finally, it's won free by Rogers. Ben Rogers on the backhand to the far side, then takes a check over there for his efforts. Puck lost in the skates on the far side of the rink. A tie-up, man goes down as Anthony Perdue is over there. Now a big shot from the left point. That was Gross that let it go, and it was gloved down but not controlled by Kava. Behind the net with it, it is Bertoni. Carlo Bertoni knocks it off the far side boards. Good bank pass up ahead. Now dumping it in is Perdue. Perdue dumped it so high, in fact, that it went right into the catching mitt of Nick Farmery for a stoppage in play.
Purdue shaking his head a little bit as he comes back to the bench. I don't think that was the goal there, to just loft one on net to get a whistle. I think he wanted to dump it more into the corner, especially with a few numbers going the other way. But offensive zone face-off here for CC.
Purdue missed a couple of games in the middle of the season with suspension, including the Butler game, for an incident that occurred with a number of players in a game against Cathedral Prep, as that one will go down for icing. And the NA Bethel game is over. Eric Chittister scoring for North Allegheny. They take down Butler 3-2 in overtime. So NA getting a scare. Kind of thought they would, but Bethel Park was the only team in AAA to not lose to North Allegheny this year. But the Tigers get the win. The 2 seed moves on as they look to get back to the championship where they fell last year to Cathedral Prep. We'll get you some scores throughout the night from a busy Thursday in the Penguins Cup. Now a centering pass. Oh, boy, someone got a stick on that in front on the shot by Gavin Morrison. Nice save there by somebody, I believe, in front of Kava. I don't think that puck ever got through.
Definitely did not. I believe it was reaching in there for Central Catholic was 16, Kingerski. Late there, got it with his right skate.
And Jake Kingerski, a nice defenseman, as this is sent down for another icing. That's 4 or 5 icings now we've seen in the early going in this game. And the Kingerski brothers, very talented. Ryan offensively and Jake on the defensive side. .9:57 here in the period. Shots 3-2 in favor of Butler. No score, though. Face off to the right circle. It's one forward by Jerome Oliver. Then it's backed out towards the middle of the ice, and Banner will pick it up. They're offside, though, is Butler. Now back with it is Jake Teep. Teep cross-rink pass to Saganek. I believe he goes by Max, but the full name, Maximus Saganek. It's one of the better names. Now here's an innocent puck floated towards the net, I believe by Oliver, and one kind of a knuckleball shot on Kava, and he'll hold on for a stoppage again.
9.5 to go in the first period. Only 6 shots on net, 4 for Butler.
Choppy flow, huh?
Yeah, really no game flow going here. A lot of icing, a lot of neutral zone play, a lot of turnovers in the neutral zone. That's why we stand where we're at.
Looking for a long outlet pass up ahead, and this is going to bank off the boards and then go all the way down for an icing touch-up. Ryan Hegg was in pursuit. That puck going strong enough right to the goaltender in Nick Farmery. Farmery has made both starts against Central, stopped 18 of 23 in the win, but then 21 of 25 in the loss. Puck directed to the near side. Grabbing it is George. George lets a low shot go all the way to the corner where Hegg picks it up. Now Hegg turning and looking for something, but it is steer side. Now they go for it in the corner. It's backed out to Ronan Miller. Miller picks it up in his own zone and chops it up ahead. They'll go all the way back behind the central net. We're stepping to it is George. Skylar George trying to go around a man but loses control of it. Ben Rogers taking it away. Gets it off to Ronan Miller. Miller trying to put on the brakes. Goes through a man's leg and then gets stood up into the boards by Ryan Hegg. A great hit by Hegg. Now a puck thrown towards the net. Kava steered it aside. Turning shot by Roger, and Kava gets to that as well. Then another shot that Kava knocks away. And now stepping out is Ryan Hegg. Boy, this game is a very slow pace for the AAA hockey game. Both teams struggling to move their feet. Now an outlet to head to Purdue. Purdue one-on-one. Let's go of a shot. And that hit a stick and caroms to the backboards. And now it'll be dumped all the way back down for yet another icing call.
Not the NHL, is it? Where these guys have to stay on the ice.
It is not.
We've seen 8 or 9 icings now, and that's most of the time in high school hockey. You see that just to switch lines. And totally legal, as it used to be for a while at the pro level. Saw one right there as Oliver just said, nothing going. I'm just going to clear it down the ice.
Face off in the right circle, controlled by Central Catholic. On it is Jake Bond. Bond then played it back. Shot chopped in by Jake Kingerski. Now this all the way back down. Skating hard is Dane Martin after it. Martin getting into the corner. Battle ensues in the far corner, and finally it's outletted up ahead for Central Catholic. And getting to it is Matt DiNapoli. But Dushik right there to calmly play it ahead. He's been pretty good so far. Tate Dushik in his own defensive zone played a lot of minutes. Here is number 24, Anthony Perdue. Perdue going around one man on the deke, then dumps it in as he gains the red line. And they'll skate on after it, trying to get the forecheck going, something that Central really has not been able to do so far. Morrison pass up ahead, and watch out, here's Gilliland. Gilliland 2-on-3, brings it to the right side, lost control, then puts on the brakes near the boards and drops it back behind the net for Clay Potoczny. And he'll play it around the boards to the far side, and it's dumped back down.
Come on, Matt.
Farmery to it. It's one touched ahead by Morrison, and Farber will collect for Central Catholic. Shot by Potoczny through the zone. Rebound attempt by Morrison. Couldn't get a good stick on it. Bachman trying to get to it. Gilliland, a good shot from the slot, and that one's blockered aside by Kava, man in the net. And that is Potoczny. He'll dig himself out of there as he was behind Kava. Now Teep brings it back the other way. Teep, good deke around him, and then he lost control. He takes a hit in the near side corner. Got hit right into the official effect, who is nearly getting a high stick in his face. Back up top, good shot on by George, and that one looked like it hit a couple of sticks on the path through. Comes to the near side corner. They battle for it now. Going behind the net is Farber. Farber wins the puck, but then can't control. And it's banked to the near side, and Butler will clear it out of their own zone. No, they don't. Stepping up and getting to it is Mac Martin. Now behind the net, Ethan Farber lays a man down as he laid a shoulder into Sam Gross. 5:48 to go. Still no goals, no penalties either. Shots 8-3 in favor of the Golden Tornado. And look out, here's Gilliland. Kind of basket hanging a bit, but they kept the defense behind him. Gilliland all the way to the net. Tried to turn it over, but could not get the forward shot on. Now he centers one, and Kava makes a spectacular save. Where's the puck? It is underneath Nate Kava. Boy, a blatant denial of Jerome Oliver right on the doorstep. What a pass it was from Gilliland, and it looked like Oliver was able to finish that one, but what a great save. I have no idea how Kava kept that out.
I was ready to say that Gilliland's at the end of his shift when he got the puck on that left wing, top of the circle, almost made a move to score on Kava, then the wherewithal to stick with the play, throw it in front. Yeah, just highway robbery there for Oliver. He was looking up towards the heavens there as Kava got it with the right blocker.
Face-off won by Butler in the right circle, and a fight for it in the corner. And it comes out towards the slot, but getting a steal is Miller. Miller gets it off, and a good shot on by Banner, and that one off the arm and goes wide. Actually, that might have been Oliver that let that one go. Banner now going for it in the corner. Here's Ronan Miller after it. Players fight for it. A couple of hits, and now a slap shot by Dushek on the right side. And now it comes free in the slot. Shot hit a skate on the way through. I think Jake Kingerski got a piece of that as it came through the slot.
And that was Banner again letting a slap shot go, and again Kingerski. We've said his name a couple times on the block.
Christian Caparelli on the near side, banks it ahead. This pass outletted to Banner. Banner going to chip one to the near side, and Martin, fresh off the bench, will pick it up. Here's Chris Martin, but he loses control. And now a good stick-to-stick pass to Hegg. Hegg then could not corral it. Will step back. Central coming in off onsides.
They're just trying to set something up, Josh. Every entry pass, really, they just can't seem to cradle.
And Butler has kind of bottled up the neutral zone pretty well. One decent look, really, for Central so far. They only have 3 shots, but yeah, I think it's safe to say Central, the 1 seed, kind of being outplayed in the early going here just a bit. This dump pass towards center ice is knocked down by Central Catholic, but getting to it is Chris Martin. Martin ahead to Ben Rogers. Now going after it is Dane Martin for Central. Back out to Holt at mid-ice. And Holt on the backhand will dump it back down yet again. Butler goes off for a change. Trying to catch them is Central. Perdue slides it over to Bond. Bond, the lefty shot from the right side. That one high and wide. And Gilliland with it. Gilliland on the pass from Potoczny. Gilliland trying to go through a man. Skates, gets to the net somehow. And Cava on the poke check is able to keep it out of danger. Here's Gilliland again, working from the goal line, out to Morrison. Morrison, a good shot. And boy, Cava, I don't think he saw that, just made himself big at net and got a piece of it. He never really tracked that puck, though, just kind of flung the arm up and hopes to stop the puck, and now Central's going to ice the puck yet again.
I'm very impressed with his positioning now. I mean, even right there, gets to the top of his crease. That was a wide open look there for Butler at the top of the circle on the left side, and just an excellent job of stepping out to the top of the crease. And as you said, Josh, kind of blindly throwing that right arm up, was able to get a piece.
And the shot by Morrison is Nate Cava being tested early. 11-3 other shots on goal. 2:53 left here in the first. Still no score. Off the draw. Good win by Butler. Coming through is Oliver. Got a backhander off, but right into the chest protector of Cava. And that time he did see it the whole way. Stayed with the puck, made himself square, made himself big, and got the shot right in the chest protector.
Said that more than once this season. All 12 shots by Butler in this first period, stopped by Nate Cava. Starting to see those numbers on paper lean towards the Butler side as well, but still even on where it matters in the goal column.
Out to Bachman at mid-ice. Banner is going to touch it ahead, gets a check as he dumps that one down behind the cage. Kongursky backhands it over to the far side corner. Battle for it, and coming away is Mac Martin. Good pass onto the stick of Farber. Farber works it in. Good shot on Farmery, the save. Sent that one low, and then Butler going to clear this one all the way back down, and yet another icing.
Lost track how many already, but
got to be at double digits
yeah,
now.
2:15 left to go in the first, and that was just the fourth shot for Central. It's amazing, though, when you enter these playoffs, anything can happen. It all starts and ends with your goaltender. You have one like Nate Cava. He's going to keep you around in a lot of games. It just feels like whoever gets the first tally in this one's really going to crack things open.
Face-off out to the left point. Skylar George letting a shot go that hit a stick on the way through and floated over Farmery's head. Now with it is Caparelli. Caparelli delaying, gets it out to George at the left point. Skylar George on the delay, then sends it behind the cage. Skating on after it is Hegg. Hegg tried to center, but it hit a stick, and it's stolen away by Gross. Now with it is Martin. Martin getting it to Oliver. Drop shot. Good shot on by Martin, and a nice save by Cava yet again. It was Rogers, that left that puck off, and excellent save yet again by Nate Cava.
Martin in the right position, too, on the little give and go, and nice recognition by Rogers. He was getting deep near that goal line, had to drop it off, and Butler gets another good shot on. Cava answers the bell.
Ryan Kongursky loses the draw. Rogers with the win. Shot hits a skate on the way through. Kongursky swatting it out of the air. Then he does it again. Kongursky, little 1-2 pass. Kongursky walking it in, a shot from the right circle. A nice little give and go there with he and Anthony Perdue. Now George from the left point walking it in and sliding over, maybe getting a piece of that was Farmery. I think I heard that clip, the jersey on the way through. Caparelli's in front of the net, but unable to get it is Ryan Kongursky. Now George trying to pinch down on it. The puck comes out, though, to Perdue at mid-ice for Central Catholic. Central kind of starting to skate a little harder here. Here's a shot by Perdue, and that one hits a stick and is up into the netting. And at this pace, we're going to be here until tomorrow morning with the amount of stoppages we have already seen in this contest.
Easily the best 45-second run there for Central Catholic. Getting 2-3 shots on the net, 2-3 scoring chances were those shots too. Kongursky made a nice play in that neutral zone that started it all with the deflection out of midair. And that's what Central's got to do, get their legs under them a little bit, start being well worthy of that 1 seed.
It certainly has not looked like a 1-8 matchup so far. The 8, I think, clearly controlling play a little bit better as this one's out to center ice. The shot's now 13-5 as we're under a minute to play. Puck sent up the far side boards, cutting it off as Jake Kongursky. Shot from the right point, hit his stick, trickles to the corner, comes back out in front of the goaltender, and getting to it is Farmery. Then some pushing and shoving. Redmond in there for Butler.
It's really the first sign of any sort of chippiness that we've seen, though. No penalties, been pretty clean, and that one even was pretty mild in front of the goaltender.
Yeah, I agree. Typically, in these playoff games, and I saw it earlier in the week, you see teams come out of the gate wanting to hit, wanting to push and shove after the whistle a little bit. We haven't really seen that. This is sort of looked like a regular season game in a way. It's just been kind of subdued, not a ton of speed, and pretty choppy.
And really, I mean, there's a good crowd on hand, too, and it hasn't really been that loud in here because of the type of play, but it looks like somebody's going to the box here for Butler.
Yeah, they're going to get Brian Freivogel.
Oh, there we go, even up.
Yeah, it's going to go either way here, so a couple of men apiece. That will come at the 16:20 mark of the period. Those will be offsetting, so we'll continue to play 5-on-5. Teep trying to win it behind the net. Gross, though, getting in after it as well. The two captains battling, and now a whistle comes on the left side and a high stick on the puck. No, they're going to get a high sticking penalty here on Central. Excuse me, I thought it was a high stick on the puck, but they're going to get Jake Teep for high sticking. At 16:30.
It's a big penalty. I mean, this was towards the end of the period. Butler clearly controlling pace of play, have a little momentum already going into the second period. If they could tack on a tally here on the power play before the period ends, they will have all the momentum.
Here's Gilliland with it. 20 seconds to go in the period. Gilliland walking it in, puts on the brakes at the left dot. Good D by Jake Kongursky. Out to Gross at the left point. Fans on a shot a bit. Oh, they tried to get an outlet. Short-handed. And it was Ryan Hegg they tried to spring out there. 4 seconds to go in the period. Now a collision at the blue line. Coming down the left side is Morrison. Let's go of a shot and a save made by Cava right at the buzzer. That takes us to the end of one period. No score between Central Catholic and Butler. 1:30 left on the Butler power play when we come back. As you are listening to the 2017 PIHL Penguins Cup AAA playoffs right here on the MSA Sports Network.
Adam University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is located on a stunning campus in the middle of a city of 70,000 college students. We offer challenging academics with over 40 majors, superb career preparation, and over 60 clubs and organizations. From the Literary Magazine and Drama Club to the League of Student Voters and pre-professional organizations. We also offer 16 Division III men's and women's sports, including men's ice hockey, starting in fall of 2017. For more information, visit chatham.edu/explore. Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game-used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of their largest selections of Penguins game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present. Or call 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz.
Right now, when you...
Back underway, period number 2 here from the Alpha Ice Complex. No score between Butler and Central Catholic, along with Cory Campano. I'm Josh Rowntree. As after the period, 13-6 in favor. And now a goal. Boy, out of nowhere, Jerome Oliver roof jobs Nate Cava to give Butler a 1-0 lead. Boy, that was out of nowhere. Walked with it on the left side and just sniped one. Top shelf, got a little bit of space, and then let it go, and Oliver makes it 1-0.
Just like you said, Josh, it looked like it was out of nowhere. Just the littlest opportunity. That power play, that first penalty where we thought it was a high stick on the puck, a high sticking penalty call, looms large, and Butler with the first tally.
It is a power play goal. And what a big marker that is. So Butler with the 1-0 lead on the goal by Jerome Oliver.
Starting to really lean towards that 8 seed now. 14-6, they lean the shot department as well. Golden Tornado have to love where they are sitting.
Get the official announcement. Here they come again. It's shot on, and it's Rogers and Gilliland. Butler, another good shot towards the net. Gross letting that one go, and it's steered aside. Now this puck over into the bench. So Jerome Oliver, his 12th goal of the year. And obviously the first of the playoffs.
And a huge start for the 8th seed. I mean, really, this is just kind of amazing when you look top to bottom. 20-4, this Central Catholic team. Butler, no fear at all. Clearly ready to play this game. They look terrific.
Scrum for it in the far side along the blue line. It was Rogers and Gilliland, correct?
Yes.
On the assistment. Behind the net, Central Catholic's Jake Kongursky with it. Leaves it off for Teep. Teep then walks into a hip check by Oliver, and it's stolen away by Ronan Miller. Miller then sends one into the slot looking for Oliver again. Now battle for it, comes out in front, and now steered to Dushek on the near side. And he'll bank it around looking for Ronan Miller behind the cage. Central having problems clearing out of the zone. Steele shot on by Miller. That one is off the pad and into the corner.
Even that was a difficult save for Kava. Miller had all the room in the world to walk into the slot. Had to fling that left pad out there to kick it away. Nice save, but shot department widened a +10 margin for the Golden Tornado with a stop here.
16-6 is that margin. One team onto the semis already. That's North Allegheny. Cathedral Prep in Seneca Valley. They dropped the puck at 8:30. It was a late 9:20 start for Canon-Mac and Peters Township. We'll get you the scoring updates and a look at the brackets between periods. Now walking down with it. Good pass across. Boy, Rogers again trying to set up a man. It was walking in on goal, McGowan, and McGowan could not put it in. McGowan only 5 points on the year. Now an offside call on Butler.
McGowan a little slow to get back. He was the man off sides there simply because he was still thinking about that opportunity. But Joss, is it just me? I mean, even exiting the zone, Central seemed to have a little bit of problems right now.
Yeah, this is becoming a heck of a grind here for the home side. Now walking free again is Rogers, that time on the left side. Now he'll lose it. And Bachman trying to corral it, but turns it over. Saganik takes it away, then left it off, but leaves it right to McGowan. McGowan walks it in, drop pass, shot on by Rogers, steered aside by Kava. Sam Gross lets go of a shot. That one high, and that caught Kava on the neck.
Yep. Even with the neck protector, that one got underneath it. That's a dangerous, dangerous part of the sport.
They are checking. That puck was in his jersey, in fact. See him fish it out of the sleeve of his jersey?
Yeah.
He let it roll down the inside on his arm, right into his hand. And he's going to take a little breather here, Kava.
It's a pretty heavy slapper, too, from Sam Gross.
Obviously, I think at that speed, that caught more protector than body, but still, you're going to feel it. Walking down the left side, good move there by Ryan Kongursky. Tried to center one, comes free, and they score! Central Catholic gets the tying goal. We're even at 1 as Kongursky made a nice play to get it to the net. And then for Central Catholic, finishing it off is number 17, Christian Caparelli.
That's the spark we've been waiting for out of Central Catholic, just their 7th shot. But look what one move by Ryan Kongursky down that left wing. Just one simple play, little touch, toe drag past the defender, and just a perfect pass. Good trail, too, by Caparelli, who gets the goal. He was in perfect position, and just like that, it's tied up again.
Caparelli with the marker, his 9th overall goal of the year, but Butler answers right back. Morrison from the slot, pounds it past Kava, and the Golden Tornado, just like that, take the lead again, only 17 seconds after Caparelli's tying marker.
Perfect shot again. Morrison just waiting just inside that left circle. Didn't get a ton on the shot, but it was a one-timer, and it beat Kava as he was moving from left to right. Got past him before he realized where that shot had ended up, and a beautiful response by Butler. As you said, Josh, it only takes 17 seconds.
So 3:18, the time of the Butler goal. Boy, all of a sudden, goals aplenty here in the last 3 minutes. 3 goals in a 2-minute and 59-second stretch. Now Butler back with it, centering one. They tic-tac-toe in front of the net. Still, it's free. Farmery offline. He was laying down. That puck was in front. Now, body scramble. This puck flipped towards the net. Farmery has no idea where the puck is. It's behind him. Finally, Central Catholic trying to get to it in the corner, and it's going to come back out into the neutral zone. Potocny going to touch it ahead. Here's Gilliland. Gilliland trying to drag around a man. Can't get free. And now a penalty is going to be called behind the cage. It was Kongursky and Hegg on the goal, the assist men.
Caparelli, the goal scorer there. And now with that whistle, it's going to be a Butler Golden Tornado power play again. They're 1 for 1 tonight.
Going to the box is Skylar George. That'll be at the 4:06 mark.
Good win by Central, though, and look at this.
Coming back with it is Kongursky. Ryan Kongursky leaving off for Hegg, who fanned on the shot. Just could not get a good stick on it. And now Kongursky lost it. Here's Gilliland with it. Gilliland trying to center battle for it. It is underneath Cobb. I think he got it underneath the left pad, and he's able to hang on.
Potocny right in front of the net. I think it bounced off his right skate and went into the pad of Kava, but Kava was dangerously close to falling back into his own net there on the other side of the goal line. Nice job to keep that puck out. Keep this one at 2-1.
I don't know if they'll announce it. The second Butler goal is a good shot here off the draw. Gavin Morrison get with it. Now a big shot from the right side and a save made. Sam Gross letting it go, and Kava with the save. And it is Gilliland and Clay Potocny with the assists. So 2-point night for Gilliland. Pair of assists.
That's not surprising. I mean, the way you watch Gilliland play, those scoring chances are constantly generated when he's on the ice, and was on the forward for that entire penalty up until now, where he just moves back to the defenseman spot instead of going off the ice. He is a very valuable player.
The penalty on Skylar George is a holding call. 1:12 left. This one's dumped down. Gross going in after it. Farber stepping up from behind. 2-1. Butler in the lead. All the goals coming in a 2-minute and 59-second stretch. Gilliland will put on the brakes at the left point. Fake the drop off, then goes right side to Gross. Sam Gross walking it in. Good cross ice pass, and Rogers sneaks it in underneath the pad. Somehow got it through the 5-hole of Cava. Rogers let it go. And they are waving it off. They are waving it off. They are saying the net is off the moorings as the goal went in, and they are not counting it. Rogers is in disbelief.
That is such a bad break for Butler. That is a terrible, terrible break. Because that beat Kava clean. That beat him 5-hole. Rogers got a good amount of that shot on net. That beat him 5-hole. Yeah, heading right back to the box for Central's George. Boy, that's tough for the Golden Tornado.
Would have made it. Well, now they've put it up on the board. I think they're putting it up the wrong way.
Yeah, they have it 4-1 now.
It should only be 2-1. We're going to call the officials back over. It should just be 2-1.
Yes. 4-1 would make no sense, even if it is a goal.
Now they're changing it. No, it's still just 2-1.
That's still wrong.
They have 3-1 up on the board. They're saying a player in the crease is the reason for the no goal, but it's still listed as 3-1. It should be 2-1. Butler with it. Here's Gilliland. He'll back it out to the high slot. Gilliland to Lang, skating backwards beautifully. Nice skating there. Right side, Gross let go of a shot. It was blocked in front. Morrison with it, banks it behind the net. And with it is Bertoni. Central trying to clear. They can't do it. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Now Rogers, cross ice to Gross. Gross from just outside the circle, let one go. It's deflected in front. Jerome Oliver, the man screening. Gilliland, right side, Gross again. Low shot, stick to side. Still the score is wrong here on the scoreboard. Central fans are beside themselves. This one's cleared all the way back down, but that's going to be icing as the power play is over.
Yeah, it's 2-1. 10:45 left in the second. And Butler, though, still, I just surprised. Josh, did you notice when that happened live, the player in the crease call? I was with you. I thought net came off, and that's what they called it for. I didn't even see Kava really get affected by a player there.
And the official at the net pointed, we should point out that there's a four-man staff working this game as opposed to the regular season when it's just two. He pointed at the post, and that's what it made me think, okay, the net's off, but he must have been saying that there was a player in the crease, and that disrupted the goal. So a big wave off. They finally get the scoreboard fixed. Coming back, Central Catholic. Good shot let go by Farber. Now the left side, Kingerski letting go of a shot. It's redirected and goes in. May have been tipped by Caparelli on the way through, but we're even at 2 as the shot was let go, and Caparelli maybe got a piece of it. We'll see who they get credit with the goal. That shot definitely deflected, though, along the way.
Tough one. I mean, that's a tough one for Farmery because when it takes a bounce like that, you can only get so lucky as to where you can stop it. And that one just snuck past them. But, Josh, how about this swing? I mean, we went from 3-1, not even a minute ago. Central gets their player out of the box and tie it up.
6:38 the time of the marker for Central Catholic as we are even at 2. Now here's Miller with it, drops it off to Oliver. Now trying to pinch down and get an odd man rush. It's cleared, but not out. Here's Oliver. Oliver down the left side, working it in. Low shot on. It's stick to side before it got to Kava. Now this puck dumped out towards center ice. Redmond will cut it off.
The goal scorer number 17, Christian Caparelli, his second in the evening.
It is Caparelli's goal.
And number 19, Ryan Kingerski.
So the Kingerskis each getting an assist.
Kingerski. Finishing goal at 10:22.
Battle for it on the near side, and Ronan Miller trying to step up. Good little disruption there by John Null. Puck cleared up the near side boards, and it'll go back down. Big collision in the corner. And it comes back out to Jake Kingerski in the left circle, disrupted by Bachman. And it's back out to center ice.
Start to hear the Central student section really getting into this. I mean, let's face it, that swing there when it was 3-1 and 2-2 after the goal was disallowed has gotten a little jump into this Central Catholic team. Still being outshot by 15, but their man Nate Kava keeping them alive. And they just have a little more hop in their step, get another offensive zone face-off here. Don't want to get the Vikings, if you're Butler, don't let them to start to get on a roll. That's how they win games. They score goals in bunches.
Here's Gilliland trying to get it behind the net. He's knocked down from behind. They fight for it. Right side shot on. Rebound has to hit off a skate. Unable to be controlled there by Farber. Here's Gilliland. Gilliland going around the net, trying to dish one off before he got there. Looking for Potocny. It's interrupted. And now Sam Gross takes it. Gets it off to Gilliland. Gilliland touches it through the zone. Tried to get it around him. And nice play by Skylar George, the defenseman. Here's George down the ice. Goes around him, and George walking it towards the cage. Let go of a backhander, and it's kicked aside. Now a centering pass out to Hegg, and he let one go that was high and over the net.
This is what I mean. Central Catholic starting to pick it up.
That's back out towards center ice. Bertoni knocking it down, but Morrison taking it away. Under 8 minutes to go here in period 2. We're even at 2 between Central and Butler. This one banked towards the near side, and Ben Rogers will take it. Rogers down the left side in the circle. Good save as it went high on Cava. Rogers trying to dish it back over, but man got knocked down. Potocny hit the deck hard in front of the net. Now a big collision near the red line. Jake Kongursky, but McGowan takes it away. Here comes McGowan walking it in. Shot on. Save made by Cava.
Again, Cava coming out to challenge McGowan. McGowan, 2 great opportunities in this game. Hasn't put one past number 1 in white, but Central Catholic penalty is going to give that was 2-for-2 power play of Butler.
There's going to be a penalty coming up here on Jake Kongursky.
They were 2-for-2, but ended up being 1 of 2 in Butler power play, and he'll go back to work.
Jake Kongursky going off.
There's another man going to the box, Josh.
Maybe a 2 and a 10.
Yeah, 2 men in the box. We'll have to wait to hear what the call is. You might be right, Josh. 2 and a 10.
Yeah, 2 men in there for Central. So now back to the power play is Butler. Shot on the right side. Gross. Let it go, but it hit a skate. Now Gilliland with it. Gilliland drops it off to the half boards to Rogers. Back out to Gilliland. Gilliland winds up off the skate of Teep. Here's Gross with it. Gross trying to work through the D. Lost control. Stolen by Teep, but Rogers steps up and gets back to it. A good play by Butler here in the attacking zone. Morrison. Morrison skating back out, looking, leaves it off. He shot one high. Gilliland did. It is a 2 and a 10 for roughing. Gilliland cross ice has Morrison shot. That one trickled to the near side where Rogers collects. So Rogers and Morrison switching sides. Now Gilliland waiting for a slapper. Got one on. Oliver tipped it in front. Oliver takes a big shot in front of the net. Now Rogers on the near side drops it off to Gilliland. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Gilliland delaying, then goes behind the net to Morrison. Morrison and Rogers, they swap places. Morrison with it, leaves it off for Gilliland out near the blue line. Over to Gross, now to Rogers. Slow shot, no one could get a stick on it on the way through. Here's Gross with it. Gross off to Gilliland. Gilliland delaying. Now puts one towards the cage. Morrison tried a backhand on the pass from Rogers. Gross to Morrison. It's tipped in front. Puck comes free. Good shot from the side of the net by Rogers. Good save made by Cava. Now back out, shot on. Save made Cava again as he steps up on Oliver to stop it.
Unbelievable. I mean, this entire power play, that was 1 minute and 55 seconds. It never left the zone. Butler, how many chances in front of the net? Two actual shots on Cava, but he's made 28 saves already, Josh. I mean, this on the other side, Farmer, he's only had to make 8. Cava is absolutely keeping Central Catholic in this game.
Off the draw. Power play just about over, and out comes John Null as he was serving the 2-minute penalty to Kongursky for roughing. Kongursky stays in with the 10-minute misconduct.
Again, that neutral zone interruption. Central starting to pick it up right at the red line where they're generating some things now.
Now up ahead, here's Miller. Miller down the left wing. Miller trying to get it across, and it goes in! They are calling it a goal. Looked like it may have been kicked, but it is a goal for Butler. Officials may talk about it, but for now it's a 3-2 lead for the Golden Tornado. And it is
Dushek.
A goal for Dushek, the defenseman, crashing down. I think that's one of those where he's stopping. Does he direct the puck into the net with the skate? Maybe, but was it a kicking motion? I don't know.
I think that goal will stand. I mean, that's a goal. It wasn't a kicking motion. He was trying to stop, as you said, Josh, and I think it originally touched his stick and then hit his skate and went in. That's a good goal. Puck's already dropped. Butler has the lead.
So Tate Dushik with the goal. That is goal number 5 on the year. Now blocking it in, good shot on by Hegg, and that one steered aside by the goaltender Farmery. Central trying to win it on. Now it's stolen away, walking down the right side, leave off pass, rebound shot, good save Farmery. As letting it go initially was DiNapoli. The rebound attempt by Bond kept out as well.
You know, Miller got one of the assists. Couldn't quite pick up who got the other one, but 33 for Butler got one of them. Made it 3-2.
The good news is they're putting it into the point streak system fairly quickly tonight. So we'll get that official scoring summary to you. This one down for icing.
Got 4:08 left in this second period before we get the Zamboni out here. And I think this is an important 4 minutes for Central Catholic. If they tie this up, take a breather, say, hey, we haven't played a good 2 periods, but if you tie it up going into the break, it's just a 0-0 game for that last 17 minutes.
They're giving this goal to Garrett Banner, who I did not think was the man that scored. I thought it was Tate Dushik on the doorstep that knocked it in, and he was the man celebrating like he scored the goal. But they have given it to Garrett Banner from Clay Potocny and Ronan Miller. So that is the goal that we'll go with. I mean, 3 is a lot different than 59, and that's Banner's number. So it must have been Banner that put that one home, but it sure didn't look like it from where we are.
Banner's out there now as a forward, Josh, and I mean, one of our points was the defenseman stepping up. So
yeah.
I thought it was Dushik as well.
He kind of was doing the wrist celebrating motion as he came over to the bench. But all right, well, we'll keep it as it is. 3.5 to go here in the second. Garrett Banner getting the goal. This one chopped in, and a tough little redirect there on the ice to Farmery, but he was able to keep it out of danger. This one bounced at the far side against Central Catholic, trailing Butler 3-2. This one knocked down in by Caparelli.
Butler doing a great job in their own zone in that bottom right corner, consistently getting the puck up the ice. Defenseman really moving the puck quickly.
Saganic around to the near side, 2:45 left in the period. This one banked up ahead. It's cut off by Butler. Morrison going to get a high hit and gets knocked down by Ryan Hegg. Hegg then one-touching it over to Caparelli, looking for this third, and that shot high and into the protector of Farmery. So it is Garrett Banner from Clay Potocny who gets his second assist, and Ronan Miller as well.
Golden Tornado, 32 shots in those 3 goals, 2:26 left in this second period. I'm trying to get a gauge on the Central Catholic side of things. Looks like they're going to a little bit quicker shifts and changing up the lines a bit.
A good shot on low, and a turning shot on the rebound is kept out. Now a scramble for it in front, the net off the mooring, as a couple of good looks for Ethan Farber, and it's kept out.
Goaltender Farmery down with his mask off. Mask got kicked off. The official's holding it right now. He was holding his head as he came up from the ice. I didn't see how the mask was off of his head. It might have been kicked off by a skate right in front of the net there. Net was off. Goal wouldn't have counted even if Central put that in. That's the biggest scrum we've seen on that side of the ice so far tonight.
So 2:16 left as they give the goaltender Farmery a chance to restrap up his equipment.
Yeah, Farmery lucky. I hate to see that goaltender coming out to play the puck or taking one up high underneath the padding like we saw earlier with Kava. Farmery looks to be fine though, just a mask adjustment. There'll be a face-off on that right circle.
5 goals here in the period. Low shot and a hold on to and save made by Farming. Corey, I don't know how many times I have to ask, but it is 3-2, 2:09 left in
that
this
was far.
one.
I've just decided to make myself more capable of seeing that angle. Farber was the one that got that shot off.
Teep will take the draw for Central Catholic, and he wins it forward. Jake Teep, the captain of this Central team, 16 goals on the year to go with 16 helpers. This puck, though, taken by Bachman, goes across. Bachman's older brother, Connor, was a tremendous goaltender, helped lead this team to the title game a couple of years ago, was stellar in net. One of the best goaltending performances I think I've ever seen when they beat Peters Township in the semifinals, and he was just lights out in that game. So hockey blood running strong in the Bachman family. Here's Morrison with it, 2-on-2 as they skate ahead. Morrison trying to get around a man, goes with a backhand off the side of the cage, and gets a bump, and Jake Teep will steal it. Over. Teep has been a bit quiet tonight for the year that he's had.
He's looked like noticeably frustrated, too, a lot of times when he's exiting his own zone.
Gilliland in the right circle, trying to toe drag through three men, but wasn't happening. Too many white jerseys, and it's played back in by Gross. Gilliland battling hard for it. Scrum going after it is Mac Martin, and he'll clear it out towards center ice. 50 seconds to play here in period 2.
Come on, Mac.
This one tried to be steered out to center ice, but stepping up is Chris Martin. Butler protecting a 3-2 lead. Dumps it across to the far side. Kongursky on the steal. Ryan Kongursky. Going down the right side.
Central really couldn't get anything off that opportunity. Butler, a nice job again to clear the zone.
There's Gross. Gross loses control. Stolen by Hegg. Hegg down the left side. Backhander missed the cage. And a big hit in center ice. Hegg laying into a man. Thought that was away from the puck, didn't you?
Yeah, I was waiting for the whistle, honestly. I was looking at all the officials. I looked at each four to see who saw that. I mean, Haig laid somebody out, not even close to where the puck was.
And I think Butler's staff, including Cory Sokolsky, is not pleased with that. But that takes us to the end of 2 periods. It's 3-2. Butler with a 1-goal lead over Central Catholic here in this AAA first-round playoff game, as officials continue to explain to Butler some reasonings behind the no call, and Ben Rogers not liking that. 34 minutes have transpired, though, and it's a 1-goal lead for the Golden Tornado of Butler. When we come back, we'll get you the scoring summary as well as a look at the brackets and what's transpired so far here tonight throughout the PIHL. That's after these words. You're listening to exclusive coverage of the 2017 PIHL Penguins Cup right here on the MSA Sports Network.
You can earn a generous... Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
Once again, the site to go to for PIHL high school hockey is the MSA Sports Network. Not only can you listen to audio broadcasts online at msasports.net, but once again this year, MSA Sports will video stream 25 live and archived high school hockey games during the regular season, powered by the PIHL, Tribune Review, and Chatham University. Plus, MSA Sports has exclusive broadcast of the Penguins Cup playoffs. Your home for the PIHL is the MSA Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou. Carlo University, a proud sponsor of the MSA Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Hit the ice at Mount Lebanon Ice Center, offering the most comprehensive instructional programs in the area, including hockey, figure skating, and learn-to-skate classes for all ages and ability levels. Classes start soon along with senior and developmental hockey leagues. Mount Lebanon Ice Center also hosts Friday night teen skates and Friday after-school skates for younger children. Birthday party packages also available. Mount Lebanon Ice Center, serving the South Hills for more than 35 years. Call 412-561-4363 or go to mountlebanon.org.
This is Josh Rowntree from the PIHL Power Play Show at MSASports.net. Along with Kevin Zilmansky, we plan to bring you the best high school hockey talk in Western PA this season. We'll cover every classification, AAA, AA, Single A, and D2.
All right, D2, Gordon Bombay, Charlie Conway, the Bash Brothers,
Kevin.
Wolf the Dennis Stenson, the Flying V?
No, Kevin, it's Division 2.
It's Knuckle Puck time?
All right, it's Knuckle Puck time. It's the PIHL Power Play Show, sponsored by Chatham University, every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock at MSASports.net. Be sure to follow the MSA Sports Network on social media this season for the most up-to-date scores, pictures, videos, breaking news, and links to our articles. You can find the MSA Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram under the handle MSA Sports and at facebook.com/MSA Sports. The MSA Sports Network is also on YouTube under the handle MSA Sports WPIAL, where you can watch hundreds of interviews with local student athletes, full games, highlights, and more. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or our websites, MSA Sports is the place to go for high school sports in Western Pennsylvania.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou. Carlo University, a proud sponsor of the MSA Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Back here on the MSA Sports Network, after two periods, it is Butler 3, Central Catholic 2 here on the MSA Sports Network, along with Cory Campano. I'm Josh Rowntree. Let's take a look at the scoring. The scoring recap brought to you by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena. As thanks to our friends for another year of sponsorship at the Lebo Ice Arena. Cory, no scoring in the first. It was kind of a slow pace, I thought, in the first. Shots were 13-6 in favor of Butler after one period. But they did get a power play late in that period. They carried it over, and then 19 seconds into the second, Jerome Oliver, the power play goal set up by Ben Rogers and Trevor Gilliland. Just a snipe, kind of came out of nowhere on the left side. Boom, just like that, 1-0.
Yeah, and really that's what Butler needed. They had so many chances early in that first period where Kava really had to come up big, and that's all it took, just the littlest of openings, and Oliver made them pay. Got off to a good start.
Well, it wouldn't last long. 2.5 minutes later, Christian Caparelli would tie the game on a Goal set up by Ryan Hegg and Ryan Kingerski. Just a nice little leave. And Hegg set up Caparelli, who scored his first of the night to even the game at 1-1. But just 17 seconds later, a response. Gavin Morrison with the goal set up by Trevor Gilliland and Clay Patochny. And I thought that was a big moment, at least so far of this game, was that quick response just 17 seconds later by Morrison.
And Morrison, just a nice shot, too, where he got to that top of the left circle. Kind of got in that no man's land, lost in between the defenseman and the offenseman for Central Catholic. Kind of just parked himself right there and took a nice pass from Gilliland. Put it past Cabo, who was moving left to right. That was a big jump for Butler. Just as you said, Josh, I mean, Central Catholic scores. They kind of take the wind out of you. You don't even let it affect you. 17 seconds later, go back in the lead.
Well, Caparelli would get his second of the game at 6:38. Jake Kingerski and Ryan Kingerski, the setup, just a deflection on a good slap shot by Jake Kingerski. Caparelli gets a stick on it, drives it into the net, and that would make it 2-2. But then Garrett Banner, we assume, gets the goal at the 12:07 mark for Butler. Clay Patochny and Ronan Miller set it up. Just a good jam play right at the side of the net, and like that, it's 3-2 after 2 periods. Shots decidedly in favor of the Butler Golden Tornado. 34 shots in 2 periods. So really, you look at it, I mean, Nate Cava, don't know that he's had his best stuff tonight, but 31 saves, he's kept them in this game. You allow 34 shots in a playoff game, you might get run out of the building. They have not tonight because of the play of Nate Cava.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you want to say also, too, that it is that 1-8 matchup, and they've gotten away with a little bit, but, for me, I don't have the most stout opinion, this being the first AAA game I've seen this year, but Butler, to me, just does not look like an 8 seed. That's how deep the AAA playoffs are. And on the other side, Farmer, I mean, he's made 14 saves, has played very well on his own. It's just Nate Cava, as you said, Josh, really the reason that Central Catholic is in this hockey game.
Looking at the results from tonight so far, we have one game that's gone final in AAA, North Allegheny, as they take down Bethel Park in overtime by a 3-2 final. Tigers moving on to the semis yet again. Again, they lost in the championship a year ago. They will take on the winner of Canon-Mac and Peters Township. That was a late start, a 9:20 start in that one. They're in the second period. Peters Township, a 2-1 lead now in that game. And the other AAA game, Seneca Valley late with a 2-1 lead at Cathedral Prep. That would be a monster win for a Seneca Valley team and a Seneca Valley program that is in kind of a need of a big monumental win, and going up to the defending champions and getting a victory, which it looks like they're about to do. They hit an empty net. I'm seeing and now a lead 3-1 late in that one. That's a huge win for Seneca Valley, as it looks like they are on to the semifinals, and the winner of this game will get most likely the Seneca Valley Raiders.
Yeah, and that could be an interesting matchup too, because Seneca Valley, it's a 4-5 game, but you're looking at that thinking that's going to be Cathedral Prep that's going to move on to play in the next round.
Right.
When you look at that on paper, Seneca Valley, that is a huge confidence booster for that team. Kind of wonder what kind of spark they're going to come out with in the second round, and as you said, Josh, the winner of this one gets them.
Some other scores that are being reported right now in the AA bracket. Plum with a tight game, a team that I saw Monday night they're facing in the Shaler Titans. It's 4-2 in that contest as they are in the third period of that game. Also in AA, Hempfield beating Mount Lebanon earlier by a 5-2 final as Hempfield upsets Lebo to move on. Latrobe right now, they are up on the number 1 seed out of the West in the Moon Tigers. 2-1 is the score in that one. Greater Latrobe with the lead in the second period. And in Class A, with a 5:54 left in that game, Montour with a 3-2 lead over Baldwin in Class A, and Baldwin a high seed in their own right, the number 1 seed out of the West. So both Western Division in both A and AA, number 1 seeds, are struggling right now, and maybe primed for an upset here.
This seems to be the trend tonight, because, I mean, Central Catholic, let's face it, they're struggling here tonight. I mean, they're down 3-2 very much in this game, but struggling to their own right, heavily outshot. Butler has controlled pace of play. Maybe that's just the trend.
There is also one game to finish out the D2 first round, and after 2 periods, Olsh with a 5-2 lead over Ringgold, the winner. They get a tough one next against the Meadville Bulldogs, the number 1 seed, who won 9-0 earlier this week. The other D2 matchup is Carrick and Central Valley. We'll take a break when we come back. The puck drop for period number 3 here from the Alpha Ice Complex. After 2 periods, it's Butler 3, Central Catholic 2 here on the MSA Sports Network.
Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account, and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game-used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of their largest selections of Penguins game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present. Or call 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz.
All right, period number 3, just about set, along with Cory Campano. I'm Josh Rowntree here for the MSA Sports Network. We're underway with a fresh sheet of ice. Ice surface kind of watery right now. Looking around, there are some noticeable puddles on the ice. I have not seen that with the Zambonis here before, but could make some plays interesting in the early going of this period, with Butler up 3-2 after 34 minutes. Now with the puck for Central Catholic is Caparelli, leaves it off for Haig. Haig, a low shot. Oh boy, problems corralling it for Farmery, but he's able to hold on. You're a hockey guy, you see what I mean? There's some puddles out there on the ice, and that can be interesting when you're trying to play the puck forward, for sure. And we'll see how the teams handle it before the ice surface maybe freezes up a little bit more.
I think whatever spot that's into could come into huge play. I mean, look at right in front of Kava, that puddle. And that's like a prime spot for Butler to try and get a shot off. Hopefully they go away soon.
Yeah, if you're watching on the MSA cam, you can probably see in front of Farmery, too, there's a pretty big streak of a wet puddle right in front of both goaltenders. So Butler with the puck. That said, no knock on this facility. It is a terrific facility they have here at the Alpha Complex. Oliver going hard after the puck. Man goes down, and a penalty is going to be called. They're going to get him on the yank from behind.
That's a big one. 16:08, not even a minute into the period. Oliver goes to the box, and chance for CC to tie it up on the power play.
So a fresh sheet of ice at that, puddles and all. 2 full minutes of power play time. That Latrobe Moon game now 3-1 Latrobe. Your buddy Sean Myers picking Latrobe to make a run. He might be right on last week's PIHL Power Play show. Here's Teep with it behind the net for Central Catholic. It is a tripping call. Low shot by Haig, and good job by Farmery holding on.
Haig absolutely got all of that. I love the setup for Central Catholic. Just that low hive movement. You get it to the middle, and then get it down low to your left flank, and up top Haig moved so nice without the puck there to receive that pass and get all the slap shot, but Farmery answered it.
First power play of the night for Central Catholic, and off the draw, a whistle blows.
I want to say that's hard to believe that it's our first power play, but it's really not. It's been a clean game all the way throughout.
Yeah, Central has sent Butler on 3 power plays so far, as this one is lobbed back down the ice. Collecting will be Skylar George. But George played a really good first 2 periods for Central Catholic. Not on the score sheet, but thought he was really solid out there for the Vikes. Here is Teep. Teep has been a bit quiet tonight. On the left side, good shot by Haig. That one rang off the outside of the net, and it's cleared All the way back down the ice by Butler.
Very calm on the defense for Butler. Sam Gross. You want to talk about George in the 2 periods he had. Quiet for Gross, but very steady on the point, the captain in blue.
Down the right side, here is Teep. Puts on the brakes, gets it back to George. Low shot, hit a skate on the way through. As getting in the way was Banner. And now Gilliland back up the ice, skating smooth. Puts on the brakes as 5 Central Catholic players greet him. And here's Dushik behind his own goal, but nearly lost it, was being pursued. And then going down was Ethan Farber as he went after the puck. Good pass to Caparelli, shot on, rebound high, and it's controlled by Farm Murray. Making a couple of big saves here early in the period. Power play is over. Central Catholic 0 for 1 with the man advantage. This will go for icing.
Gotta like the way, if you're Butler, that you opened up this period. Aside from the penalty, you did a nice job responding to your own mistake and really limiting Central Catholic to 1 scoring opportunity that entire power play. Played a very solid game all the way around of the Golden Tornado.
13:59 left. Butler trying to pull the upset against Central Catholic. They've had some good teams over the years. As they have the puck behind the net. Big hit by Dushik from behind on DiNapoli. DiNapoli clears it out, gets it over to Freivogel, who sent one wide. And now with it is Chris Martin. Martin trying to get it ahead to Rogers, but stepping up nicely and directing it to the far side is Mac Martin. This one played up high, and Bachman will go back for Butler in his own zone. He retreats to play it. Good stick forward. Oh, boy. And then bump from behind was Bond. And Bond got pushed into Farmery, but they're going to get Bond with the penalty here.
I thought he was pushed too, Josh. I was just about to say the same thing. And look at the smile on the face coming to the bench here for Butler. That's Connor Bachman. He knew right away what he did. He pushed Bond, and Bond is the one that gets called here. That's a break for Butler.
Well, one thing with that, though, with Bond going, Farmery had clearly covered the puck, and he crashed hard on it. And, yeah, he got bumped, but I think the intent there was maybe to give a little snow to the goaltender Farmery. And
no penalty for snow, though. So,
well, I mean, they can call that. They can call that unsportsmanlike technically. But, yeah, I agree with you. I thought he was pushed from behind, and that's really a dangerous play because where Farmery got hit, he's lucky that he didn't have more of a head injury. He got a knee right to the side of his head and knocked his helmet off.
Butler, we'll see if they can make that hurt. I would have left that as a no call, but seen a couple questionable calls here tonight.
So it's a roughing call on Bond. Jake Bond in the penalty. Now here's a slapper from Gilliland on the left point that hits a stick and goes up into the netting. Butler is 1 for 3 on the power play.
I think some of the Central fans agree with me. Difficult call.
Really?
Yeah, got that feeling.
Here's Gilliland with it at the left point. Goes across to Gross, who had to glove it down and gets control of it. Lets one go. There's a penalty in front. Yep. This is going to be
you knew that was coming.
Blatant goaltender interference as Ronan Miller gets into the goaltender, so he's going to go. I think there's no denying that one.
Yeah, but look, they're sending somebody from Central off too. Or is it just a Central player?
Wow, they're going to say the interference.
So this isn't on Miller.
They're going to say that Miller was thrown into the net by Saganik.
Wow. What a chance now for Butler. This is going to be a 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 18 seconds. Central Catholic bench is livid. Can't say I disagree with Coach Bill Connolly there.
It's an interference call. And now a 5-on-3 for 1:18 as this one's dumped all the way down the ice. And boy, what an opportunity for the Golden Tornado to get a huge insurance goal in this game.
Like I said, plenty of time. I mean, they've got a minute to set this thing up.
Here's Gross. Gross leaving it off to Morrison. Backhand attempt. I don't really like that take by Morrison there. No need to get cute when you're on a 5-on-3 doing a spinorama backhand shot.
Yep.
Just go stick to stick, tape to tape, and get a good shot on. You'll get a look at a 5-on-3. Here's Gilliland up top to Lang. Goes left side. Low shot by Rogers. Steered to the corner. Good pressure by George. Now Morrison with it. Morrison, he's getting jammed up, and now it's going to come back out to Rogers. Rogers into the slot. That one off the blade of Oliver. They try to clear, but not out. Gross keeps it alive. Off to Gilliland. Left side, Rogers in the circle. Off to Gross. Gross shot on, save made by Nate Cava. I'll tell you what, Nate Cava, I think, has been the best goalie this year in AAA without question, and he is going to have to prove it here over the next minute or so, as he has been peppered with shots already, but this is a huge challenge here, this 5-on-3.
Even that right there, I know it was a simple save, not a heavy shot, but the rebound control just phenomenal. I mean, 5-on-3, you've got two blue sticks in there right in the crease. Cava was able to corral the rebound there from letting it get out.
This one's dumped all the way back down. Good clear by Central Catholic as the first power play nearly over. 4 seconds left on the penalty to Bond. With some speed, it's Gilliland. Watch out, 3-on-1. Gets it off to Morrison. Morrison, another backhand attempt. He couldn't corral it, then tried to go to the backhand. Rebound attempt, side of the net. Gross digging at it, and it's cleared out of danger. Good job there by Central Catholic's Ryan Hegg.
We talked about the opportunity for Butler here, Josh. How about Central? They kill off this 5-on-3. That should build some momentum for them going forward.
Gilliland again with a lot of speed. You see the skill of Trevor Gilliland. A couple of assists tonight, and then a penalty in the corner. Boy, this might be on Central again. We'll see.
I think it is. I think it's a roughing.
6:55. I think Dushik is going to the bench. Or going to the locker room, excuse me.
Something
He's
wrong
trying to get
for
a
him.
gate open. No, this is going to be on Butler, this penalty.
Yeah, Gilliland.
Maybe a hold on Gilliland over there.
Corner side. I should just quit saying what I think when they're calling a penalty, because that's 3 in a row I'm wrong on. Gilliland in the box. Just 11 seconds left on that penalty on the other side for Central's Saganik. A chance for the Vikes now.
Here's Teep off the drop. It's a hit on the near side, gets it off to Jake Kingerski. Tried to cross one, looking for his brother Ryan. Ryan Hegg, though, gets to it. Man comes out of the box. Now a power play for 1:46. Teep in front, and it goes in. Directed back in by Jake Kingerski on the great setup by Teep. And we're tied at 3 with 10:39 to go.
What an excellent setup there for the Vikes. I mean, just phenomenal. That is a power play goal. Their penalty was over. Jake Kingerski. I believe he had the 10-minute misconduct earlier, right, Josh? Should be his first action in quite some time, and look what happens as soon as he steps on the ice.
So Kingerski, the power play marker. Yeah, he has a couple of points tonight, despite missing 10 minutes. As this one's up the near side, and there's Kingerski again. Now here's a high shot from the right side by Hegg. Hegg and Kingerski out there. They can skate for sure. Sorry, that was 23, Dane Martin, that let that one go. A backhanded play by Ryan Kingerski, getting free is Caparelli looking for the Hattie. Now Hegg with it on the backhand, and that's into the netting.
They're buzzing now, huh? Central Catholic starting to go right in front of the net. Haig, I can't believe he hasn't scored in this game. The amount of chances that he's had and the amount of good hard shots he's gotten off. Make no mistake about it, the goaltending in this game, 6 goals allowed. Goaltending has been superb.
10:07 left, 6:21 the time of that goal. Face-off draw on the far side of the ring.
Central Catholic goal scorer number 16, Jake Kugerski. Assistant number 4, Jake Teep. And number 13, Ryan Hag.
So they give Teep and Heg the goals.
And Hag, power play goal, 10:39.
Here's Sam Gross with it. Gross out at the right point. Do-si-do around Purdue. Let's go of a low shot. Rebound attempt to the side of the net. Boy, Morrison right there, but a great save made, it looked like, with the right skate of Kava.
Just excellent. Excellent awareness to slide from post to post there. Morrison had a wide open cage.
Back with it, Gilliland trying to muscle his way through, and they close him off defensively. And the puck going to go back out to center ice.
Central Catholic fans yelling for an interference on that left side.
Here's Gilliland with it, trying to go around Bertoni. Can't do it. Good D there by Carlo Bertoni. Purdue behind the cage. Gonna bank it off the boards up the near side. And it'll go all the way back down. Gilliland skating hard after it. Cuts it off though. Now a delay. And Bachman ahead to Gross. Gross with a nice move. Gets around a man, then takes it to the near corner. Drop off looking for Miller. Comes cross rink. And it's backhanded to keep it alive by Banner, a goal scorer tonight. Gross with it. He sends it towards the cage. Hit a couple of sticks on the way through. Played with a high stick. Oh, it was played with a high stick by Central Catholic, I thought.
Yeah.
But Butler.
That looked like it could have kept going.
Yeah, absolutely. But for sure, Central played the puck with the high stick, and then Butler got to it. They blow the whistle.
Yeah, don't get that. That was Miller that touched it last. Miller had possession of the puck when the whistle blew, but it's an offensive zone face-off for Butler.
Banked out of the zone. Heg skating on after it. He's going to have to touch up to get onside. He does. Caparelli with it. Caparelli down the left wing. Drops it on the backhand, but it's steered behind the net. 8 minutes to go. Tied at 3. Leave off. Caparelli. Caparelli got it in front, and it goes in! Heg gets the goal on the doorstep, set up by Caparelli, and Central Catholic has come back to take a 4-3 lead with 7:55 to go. That another one, borderline kicking motion at the side of the net, but it's a goal. They let one go one way, and that goes the other way.
I think they have to because of earlier. That one looked like way more of a kicking motion than earlier. But Haig, I think, is the one that's going to get credit. And official immediately had Oliver in his face. Jerome Oliver saw that the whole way and was pleading his case to the official that it was a kick, and they met right away and said, no way, that's a goal.
Timeout taken by Butler as they'll try to regroup. It's 4-3 with 7:55 to go. Central Catholic with the lead. It's the PIHL Penguins Cup playoffs here on the MSA Sports Network.
This is Josh Rowntree from the PIHL Power Play Show at MSASports.net. Along with Kevin Zilmansky, we plan to bring you the best high school hockey talk in Western PA this season. We'll cover every classification, AAA, AA, Single A, and D2.
All right, D2, Gordon Bombay, Charlie Conway, the Bash Brothers, Wolf the Dennis Stenson, the Flying V?
No, Kevin, it's Division 2.
It's Knuckle Puck time?
All right, it's Knuckle Puck time. It's the PIHL Power Play Show sponsored by Chatham University every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock at MSASports.net.
Little update there. The PIHL Power Play Show this week will be a Thursday night show as we will recap the semifinals and preview the finals. That's, again, next Thursday night. Officials are having a long conversation over by the scorer's table. Looks like Heg was given credit with the goal. The official sold it the whole way. He said, absolutely a good goal, and they're going to stay with it. So 4-3, Central Catholic on the goal by Ryan Heg. Central Catholic with the first lead of the night. There's Dushik with it, back on the ice.
Goal scored by number 19, Ryan Kongursky.
No, they're going to say Kongursky scored it. That was Hag that put it in the net. I have no idea. So Hag and Caparelli with the assist. It was absolutely Number 13, Ryan Hegg, that put that puck in the net, but they say it's Kingerski. They chop one out of there. Not a great night for the officiating crew. They have a tough job out there before guys on the ice. They have missed a couple, I think, without question here tonight.
13 and 19, at least that time's a little better of a mix-up.
I'll come in free with it. This is 13 for sure. This time it's Hegg. But it's broken up by Butler.
Yeah, that time 13 and 19 on Central Catholic. We had 59 and 3 mixed up earlier, so I'm not going to give any leeway on that. Long shot there. My Teep. Just almost a red line. Still what made Farmery move.
Nice night for Christian Caparelli. He kind of got things going on that play. 6:35 to go. Central all of a sudden with the lead. But just some big swings in this game. Near chances at one end, goals waved off, goals allowed that maybe should have been waved off. Some big moments in this one that have led to this 4-3 lead for Central Catholic.
I think it's kind of evened out, Josh. I mean, really, Central Catholic has had a couple bad breaks with the penalty calling, a couple on the interference calls. Butler had a bad break on the goal that was disallowed. And then they got one with the kicking motion, and then Central Catholic did. It's just been back and forth.
Here's Chris Martin behind the net trying the wraparound, and that one is taken aside. Now Holt will keep it alive. Dumped in by Adam Holt. Stick lost for a Central player, so somebody out there without a stick, and that is Central Catholic players. A shot by Gross, that one high. Dane Martin, the man that lost the stick. Under 6 minutes to go. Central skating free with it. Back the other way, it's Teep. Teep trying to get towards the net. Gets it to the forehand, but a save made, and then Teep falling over the goaltender in Nick Farmery.
That was a great move by Teep, and we're going to get a Butler penalty here. I think that's Martin in the box, 12.
It is.
Not sure what the call was for. Didn't see it. It was behind the play.
Might have been a slash. I thought I saw the official give one of these, but we'll wait and see.
It's a big, big penalty with 5:48 left.
Bad time to take a penalty. Essentially, when you're out of the box there, if Central doesn't score, you're down by one with just 3 minutes and 48 seconds left. Now, Central Catholic is going to use a timeout. So 5:48 to go, 4-3. Vikings in the lead, and they are about to go on the power play here on the MSA Sports Network.
What you want is to stay warm this winter by logging on to www.msasports.net each and every day. We have all the schedules, the scores, the rankings, and the standings of the high school winter sports, plus weekly shows like Inside the WPIHL Wrestling Circle, the PIHL Power Play Show, and the WPIHL Roundball Report, along with live and archive broadcasts of whatever your favorite high school sport is. Anytime, anywhere, always there, every day this winter. It's the MSA Sports Network.
4-3, good hockey game tonight here at the Alpha Complex in Harmarville. The penalty on Chris Martin of Butler as he goes off for slashing. I got one right. It's been rare tonight.
I just sat back on that one.
I think we've gotten them all right, but
yeah.
Sometimes we don't agree with the officials. It is what it is.
Just hung up on that 59-3. That just irks me.
We'll be rewatching that one. You can rewatch this game and either prove us wrong or maybe we'll prove ourselves right. But I might go back and check that out maybe some point tomorrow.
Yep. It'll be up there in the archives.
They changed the goal.
This thing's starting to turn around, Josh.
Yeah. All right. I didn't think my eyes, which are not great, did not deceive me. So they do change the goal. It is a goal for Ryan Hegg.
I believe Kingerski gets the assist, correct?
He should. He was the man that set it up.
Miss a chance
It's
here.
Hegg and it should be Caparelli and
Ryan Kingerski.
Yeah. There's a low shot. Scramble for it, and it goes in. It looks like the last man to touch it was Ryan Kingerski right underneath the pad. We'll see who gets credit for it, but Kingerski looked like he got this stick in, was able to knock it in. There were a couple of bodies in the area. Hegg was in there as well, but I think Kingerski is going to get this one.
That one just a trickler from the point that got caught up underneath the pad of Farmery. And then Kingerski came in late to get that right stick on it. Officials still discussing this though, Josh. Look at the Butler players huddled around the net to see if it's going to be.
The net is off.
Yeah.
The net is off the moorings.
Yep, goal. Stands.
Well, we'll wait and get the official scoring credit, but it looks like the man digging at it was Ryan Kingerski. And that would be his second of the period. Kingerski's the brothers with 3 goals in the period. And it's 5-3.
Now after that'll be the story here, man. I mean, after the 3-3 game, you got 2 goals that they had to discuss. They were questionable. The Hague questionable kick motion, the net off there when Kingerski reached in. I thought that puck was in before the net came off. I think that they got that call correct. Tough for Butler. They were in a great position to upset the 1 seed and win this game, and seeing this game slowly slip away from them.
That said, good resiliency by Central Catholic.
Absolutely.
I was talking to one of their assistants before the game, and said any pressure being that 1 seed, and said not really. Kind of the way that this playoff field is, just because you're the 1 seed doesn't really mean anything, and I think everybody kind of realizes that. Oh, we got one right. Well, the Kingerski and Hegg connection has been big tonight.
And now Butler's going to have to do something drastic, but they can't get it past the red line.
Good steal by DiNapoli. Then he sends one across to the near side corner. Under 4 minutes to play here in this one. Gross up the far side to Oliver. Oliver backing it around and then got it to Gilliland, but it's going to go long for icing.
Josh, if I'm correct, 34 shots at the end of 2 periods for Butler.
Only 3 here in the period.
Only 3 here and a 10-3 margin for Central Catholic. That's going to show up on the scoreboard too, getting those 3 goals. 3-0 in this 3rd period in favor of the Vikes. They were down 3-2 after 2. Wide margin gap closed on the shot totals, and Vikes with a great comeback here tonight.
By the way, I'm not sure mentioned it. That was a power play goal, and that makes Central Catholic now 1 for 3 with the man advantage. 3:20 left. This one dumped back in. Dushek going after it. Banks it up the far side looking for Miller. Then it's going to come back out to Jake Kingerski. But how good have the Kingerski brothers been tonight?
We've only seen Ryan for half the game.
Yeah. And the 10-minute misconduct. It was Jake. Jake that had the misconduct.
Jake had it, okay.
The roughing in the 10. He's vital to them. Ryan Kingerski's a really talented player and has done some really nice things for them this year. But Jake Kingerski at that defensive position, he is really, really important to what they do. I almost look at him as a Chris Letang type in the meaningfulness as a defenseman, where you take him off the ice and they're just not quite the same as far as moving the puck. And I think we saw that a little bit while he was out.
That's where Butler had the success.
2:20 to go. 5-3 is the score.
Got to think about when do you pull Farmery. Got to get it down the other zone, though.
And maybe try to buy a penalty here, perhaps. Yeah, 10-3 are the shots now in favor of Central Catholic. I think they've kind of worn down Butler as this game has gone on. Here's a shot. Oh, redirected by Oliver. A hit off the meeting of the pipes in the upper left-hand corner. Dushek with it. Let's go of a low shot. That one hit a skate on the way through. Trickles towards the goaltender. Butler now with 1:45 left. Cory Sokolski really has to start thinking about when he gets his goaltender out. This one dumped back in, and Butler's offside.
That was the missed opportunity right there. That puck goes in on deflection. And it is a totally different hockey game. That would have been with almost 2 minutes left. That was a great deflection by Oliver. Just unlucky that that stayed out. I mean, Kava didn't even see it off the deflection. Just another missed opportunity there.
Face-off played towards Nate Kava. Goes now into the corner. Central trying to clear it. Gross with it. Gross playing it ahead. Caparelli got a stick on it. In the corner, they fight. And now it's back out to the right point. Gross not quite able to control, and Jake Kongursky takes it away. Now with it is Farber. Farber tried to center Oliver, and now this is Gross. 1:10 left in the game. Good D back checking there by Teep. That's great work by Jake Teep. He's been kind of quiet on the scoreboard tonight, but big defensive play right there. Gross, let's go of a shot, hit a knee on the way through. 1 minute left.
There goes Farmery.
Farmery now out of the net. That took a long time, down by 2 goals. And now here is Teep coming away with it. Teep looking for the empty net, lobs one down the ice, it hits the post. Boy, he couldn't do that if he tried 100 times to hit the post. That's exactly what he did. Now here's Oliver. Oliver down the left wing trying to get it to Morrison. Morrison lets go of one. And a save made, and man hurt after the play as Morrison cut across. He is down and holding his right knee. And boy, you hate to see that with 26 seconds left in the game, a guy reaching for a knee in a game that is likely decided.
I actually thought that one had a chance to go, too. It was a great pass by Oliver.
We're going to have a penalty on Teep on this as well.
Oh, okay. So that might make sense as to why Morrison was down. Morrison got a stick on that, sliding over Kava. Kept it between the 2 pillars. But just 26 seconds left. I think this third period is what will be the cause of the haunting for Butler.
Butler, this will be power play number 6 on the night. They're 1 for 5. Some blown opportunities in that department as well.
Yep.
Off the draw, thrown towards the front of the cage. They jam at it, side of the net, rebound attempt. Still it's kept out. Man down on the ice. Still they fight for it, still free, and it's going to go to the corner with 15 seconds left. Crowd starting to come to their feet for Central Catholic. Now a battle on the far side and 2 players going at it as it is Ryan Redmond who got on top of Brian Freivogel. I'll tell you what, credit Freivogel here. Got away from it.
Yep.
He knows that they have bigger fish to fry.
How many times do you see that at the end of the games, too? End of the playoff games when the team has nothing to lose.
Yep.
And here we go, fight on the ice now. Martin got into it. He just started something with one of the Kongarskis. This just happens way, way too much. Way too much.
Gilliland going after a guy. And boy, this is just the side of hockey that you just hate to see. Gilliland being taken off the ice by an official. And here's the thing, if Central gets hit with penalties here, if they get game ejections, these guys are going to have to miss the next round.
Right.
Butler players frustrated, but you just have to compose yourself better than that late in a game.
Yeah, Martin and Gilliland both already went to the locker room.
We'll have a slew of penalties here with 16:53 left.
Pure frustration on the side of Butler after everything shook down. They're just going to call it.
Yep, they call it. That's the right move by the officials. Don't even have the puck dropped again. Send Butler off.
Half the players are just leaving the ice,
yep.
Josh.
Central Catholic gets the victory. Yeah, and to not shake hands either is 100% classless on the fact on the side of this Butler team. And this is not representative of their coach, Cory Sokolski, who is a terrific guy, and he's trying to get his kids back onto the ice to shake hands. And you just don't want to see a game end like this. The right move, though, by the officials who in their own right had somewhat of a tough night out there, but they wrapped this one up. They said, you know what, we're not even going to drop the puck again, and that's the right decision. But Central Catholic moves on after all that, as the Vikings, they will look to win their first Penguins Cup since 1998. And they take one step towards doing that here tonight. A 5-3 victory for Central Catholic on their home ice. And they're off to the semis where they'll take on Seneca Valley in the next round. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up this wild one here at the Alpha Complex. Final score, Central Catholic 5, Butler 3.
What you want is to stay warm this winter by logging on to www.msasports.net each and every day. We have all the schedules, the scores, the rankings, and the standings of the high school winter sports, plus weekly shows like Inside the WPIHL Wrestling Circle, the PIHL Power Play Show, and the WPIHL Roundball Report, along with live and archive broadcasts of whatever your favorite high school sport is. Anytime, anywhere, always there, every day this winter. It's the MSA Sports Network.
High school wrestling is in full swing for yet another season, and Inside the WPIHL Wrestling Circle is here to cover it every step of the way. But to bulk up our coverage, we had to bring in some help.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color for the town?
No, not that help. Instead, we turn to the Pennsylvania Wrestling Man of the Year.
I'm Jeff Upson of PA Power Wrestling. Each week we will break down the matches, the tournaments, and more to give you the most in-depth analysis of wrestling like you've never seen before.
Listen in to Inside the WPIHL Wrestling Circle every Monday night at 7, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
Hit the ice at Mount Lebanon Ice Center, offering the most comprehensive instructional programs in the area, including hockey, figure skating, and learn-to-skate classes for all ages and ability levels. Classes start soon along with senior and developmental hockey leagues. Mount Lebanon Ice Center also hosts Friday night teen skates and Friday after-school skates for younger children. Birthday party packages also available. Mount Lebanon Ice Center, serving the South Hills for more than 35 years. Call 412-561-4363 or go to mountlebanon.org.
Chatham University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is located on a stunning campus in the middle of a city of 70,000 college students. We offer challenging academics with over 40 majors, superb career preparation, and over 60 clubs and organizations. From the Literary Magazine and Drama Club to the League of Student Voters and pre-professional organizations. We also offer 16 Division III men's and women's sports, including men's ice hockey, starting in fall of 2017. For more information, visit chatham.edu/explore.
All right, the fans filing out as the coaches on the far side discuss the penalties that will be tacked on. And again, for Bill Connolly and Central Catholic, you don't want to lose guys for the next round, but there were some fights there at the end. Now, officials can deem that there were not two actors in the fight and that it was instigated by one. And I think this is an important time for officials too, as we wrap up this 5-3 Central Catholic win. It's an important time for officials to realize one team has a game coming up. Another team had nothing really to play for at the end of this game and took actions against the others. And you cannot, I don't think, fault players, Cory, who are simply attacked on the ice for defending themselves. And I think that's probably what the discussion is as they look at the penalty sheets here. And you hope that it doesn't result in any suspensions or serious violations for Central Catholic. You hope that it doesn't. I don't think that it will. I think Butler and some of their kids pretty much instigated everything out there. And you hope that that's the way this plays out. And you hate having to talk about this after a game. And I'm telling you, 7 years covering this league, this is unfortunately a really terrible side that we see far too often, where some players maybe playing in their last game take some liberties late when they know their season's over.
Yeah, they don't care. The season's over. It's not going to affect them for the next season. It's not going to affect them, especially if they're a senior. They're going out. They know that they lost this game. There was 7 seconds left, and the Butler players absolutely started every single bit of that. I want to credit for Central Catholic. I think the man that tried to end it all was Brian Freivogel. I mean, he was the man that was taken down on that far side right in front of the boards. He just hopped right out of the pile, and then that kind of led to everything once he started fist bumping and everything towards the crowd, but didn't do anything wrong. And as you said, Josh, I mean, unfortunately, that's the one big problem in the PIHL. Never seems to end when these kids know that they're done. Things start to just get out of hand, and that's what we saw at the end of the game.
Well, regardless, we have some business to take care of. First off, it's the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena scoring summary. No goals in the first period. There was a penalty late that was on Jake Teep, and that resulted in an early second period power play goal. Jerome Oliver getting Butler on the board first. They made it 1-0, set up by Ben Rogers and Trevor Gilliland. But just 2.5 minutes later, Christian Caparelli answers, set up by Ryan Hegg and Ryan Kingerski, and that would even the game at 1. But Butler responds right back. Just 17 seconds later, Gavin Morrison makes it 2-1. Gilliland and Clay Potoczny with the assists on those goals. And then after that, Caparelli at the 6:38 mark gets a tally as he pits the net for the second time in the game. Jake Kingerski and Ryan Kingerski with the assists on the goal. A nice deflection off a slap shot, and that made it 2-2. And then before the period ended, Butler would take a 3-2 lead at the 12:07 mark. Garrett Banner, set up by Potoczny and Ronan Miller, would send them to the break at 3-2. Butler in the lead. At that point, shots were 34-16 in favor of the Golden Tornado. Boy, would that flip in the final period. 16-6 was the shot total in the third frame, and final shots 40-26. But in that third, 4 penalties right off the start, 3 on Central Catholic. Jerome Oliver, Jake Bond, and Max Saganek. And I'll tell you what, the first one was on Butler. That was Oliver on Butler. Those 2 penalty kills early in the period I thought were really important for Central Catholic. The kill of the Bond and Saganek penalties. They had the 5-on-3 in there as well, which they were able to steer aside. And then Gilliland goes to the box, and boom, Jake Kingerski hits the net, ties the game on the power play at 3-3. Ryan Kingerski would follow 2.5 minutes later. He would get on the board with the goal. Ryan Hegg and Christian Caparelli set that up. It was 4-3. And then Chris Martin goes to the box for slashing, and really the nail in the coffin, the second goal of the game by Ryan Kingerski, set up by Hegg and his brother Jake Kingerski, and that would make it 5-3, the final score.
Well, they switched that goal on the 4-3 to make it Hegg, right? Hegg scored the 4th one.
They switched it back to Kingerski, I believe. Yeah, we thought it was Hegg,
right?
Then they switched it. Maybe, I don't know.
It's one of the two, Hegg or Kingerski.
Let's take a look at the Point Streak site just to make sure. And that was the 4-3 goal.
Yep.
And
ended up being the game-winning goal.
It was Ryan Hegg.
Yeah, that one had hit off his skate.
Okay.
The kick that was not called, and Hegg gets that goal. So Ryan Kingerski got the one to make it 5-3.
And that was that goal. The Hegg goal was set up by Ryan Kingerski
and Caparelli.
So Ryan Kingerski just the one goal in the game, and that is your scoring summary brought to you by Mount Lebanon Ice Arena. If you kind of joined us late, there were some questionable goal calls, period, and then some questionable credits of the goals as well throughout the course of the game, which leads us to our Chatham University 3 stars of the game. And as we look at it, Ryan Hegg, he scored
goal and 3 assists, I think, for Hegg.
Yeah, goal and 3 assists. Ryan Kingerski had a goal and 3 assists. Christian Caparelli with 2 goals and an assist. Jake Kingerski 2 goals and an assist. Those 4 guys accounted for all of the points for Central Catholic in this game. And where would you like to go with our 3 stars?
Well, I think the 3rd star has to be Ryan Hegg. The goal tipped off his skate. Was not a kicking motion, so it was not called a kick. It was a goal, and he chipped in 3 assists. That's tough to be the 3rd star with 4 points.
Yeah.
But that's where I would go as the 3rd star. Caparelli has to be in the top 2 for me just because of the significance of those goals.
Yeah, I would put Ryan Kingerski at the top spot for the big goal late, the power play goal. But I would a special tip of the cap. We could put this anywhere you'd like to Jake Kingerski too.
Yeah.
When he was on the ice, they were a considerably different team, and I think you could easily have him as the number 1 star of the game. Of course, in the end, none of this really matters. But it's like whose line is it anyways? But anyways, I would say Ryan Hegg, the number 3 star, Christian Caparelli, the number 2 star, and Ryan Kingerski, the number 1 star. Special tip of the cap as well to Jake. Let's just say the Kingerski brothers are the number 1 star.
Also to Cava in net.
Yeah, Nate Cava makes 37 saves in the game. Boy, was he big at times as well. So a lot of ways you could go with the 3 stars, but that's where we'll give it to Ryan Hegg, Christian Caparelli, and the Kingerski brothers at number 1. Thoughts on this one? Looks like it'll be Seneca Valley up next for for this Central Catholic team. I think if we get a third period Central Catholic team, they might be good, but first couple of periods, the way they played, maybe not as good.
If we had to name like a play of the game or cycling of time of the game, it would definitely be that 5-on-3 penalty that they killed off. And then 2 minutes later, you get Jake Kingerski back on the ice. They're a totally different team. You mentioned it late in that third period. Kingerski, the things he does, turning defense into offense. Kava's a very tough goaltender. We saw that firsthand. Butler, that's a tough way for them to lose. But I think the most important thing, the 1 versus 8 seed, Central Catholic and Butler, did not turn out to be a 1-8 type game. I think it's so important to look at this Class 3A Penguin Cup playoff and say anybody can win any game. You saw that second hand, too. You look at a 4-5 game, you're thinking Cathedral Prep's coming out of there with a win. Seneca gets the win. Now they'll face Central Catholic. It's going to be important for Central Catholic to keep the Kingerski brothers out there at the same time, keep them on the ice, and kind of rally a little bit more so they don't have to put Kava and their defense in that position early.
One game still going on, just over 5 minutes left. Peters Township a 2-1 lead over Cannon McMillan. The winner of that game gets North Allegheny. It'll be Central Catholic against Seneca Valley. That will be played Wednesday. That's next Wednesday, March 15th at the RMU Island Sports Center at 6:45, and that will be followed by the other semifinal between NA and either Cannon Mac or Peters Township. Thanks so much to both coaches tonight, Bill Connolly and Cory Sokolski, for their help before the broadcast. Thanks to Jody Zangrilli-Cook as well for her efforts on the video feed. Hope you enjoyed that. If you listen to it on the audio, make sure you check out the video of kind of a wild one here at the Alpha Ice Complex as we wrap up this victory for Central Catholic. For Cory Campano, I'm Josh Rowntree saying good night from Harmarville. The final score, Central Catholic moving on to the semifinals. They take down Butler by a 5-3 final, and you heard it right here. It's the Penguins Cup playoffs, brought to you in part by Tribune Review, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
You have been listening to coverage of the 2017 PIHL Penguins Cup High School Hockey Playoffs at MSASports.net, sponsored in part by Chatham University, by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by J&J Distributing, by ProGrass, by First Commonwealth Bank, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlow University, by the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League, and by Management Science Associates. You can follow the high school hockey postseason every day by logging on to www.msasports.net. The preceding has been a special presentation of the MSA Sports Network.